Hello, I'm Malcolm Hazlitt.
I'm Janice Baker. In this episode, we'll meet two people who are doing their best to change the world.
And we'll meet two people who just want to win the world.
Next on Our Time. Well, Malcolm, honestly, you don't need to sound sexy all the time.
I know, but I just can't help myself. Isn't it crazy?
No, it is crazy.
Nothing's wrong with me except that.
But you still keep talking.
Never stopped me before, and I doubt it'll stop me now.
True.
It's funny though, isn't it? You don't realise how important talking is to you until it's difficult.
It's not there.
Yeah. And mind you, I've been saving myself all day so I could talk
Well,
for this program.
It doesn't sound like you have.
I just thought I was being sexy. Could I just purr?
I know.
You know, it's not just about talking, it's about singing. And we have two fantastic young guests in this episode, Mitre Kammash and Munday, who are both from Festival Statesman Choir.
And they're raising money, boys. Welcome to the program.
Good to be here.
Raising money from a fringe show to send you as a group to
LA.
For?
How exciting.
It'd be for the International Barbershop Harmony Convention in LA, which has competitions, which we've been invited to compete in.
Wow.
So, Mitre, just take us back to the beginning.
Sure.
With the group.
Yeah.
Because the group, there's another group pre this group, isn't there?
Yeah, so the beginning of the Festival Statesman, it all started back in the 90s, I believe, where a bunch of guys got together.
No, before.
Before then, the 80s. Well, it's before.
I think it's before.
Way back in the past, yeah.
And you know, the word festival in the Statesman refers to the fact that South Australia is the festival state.
Yes. We definitely put
Sorry,
it.
take it from there. I'm older than you, and they were my age. That's
right. They've been around for a long time, and they were singing together. They were singing barbershop harmony, straight barbershop harmony, and
they all got old.
Yeah, so in 2009. A music teacher at my school basically got a bunch of guys together.
This is Jonathan.
Jonathan Bly, yeah, got a bunch.
Jonathan's been on the program before.
Yes.
Talking about this.
Definitely has, He got a bunch of students together to do exactly that. And at that time, the Festival Statesmen were still around, so they were really excited by that idea. And we took their name and called ourselves the Festival Statesmen Youth Chorus. Then a few more years of that continued, and then eventually the Festival Statesmen, as we know, the senior chorus when we're talking about the difference, I think they folded, and we adapted the name. Now we're no longer youth anymore.
So what's the average age of the group?
I think the average age is probably about 23, 24.
Yeah, I think it would be.
We have some young late teenagers, and we also have some older people over 30. I mean, I say old.
Yes,
Sure,
be careful there.
Yes, be careful. So, Nick, how old are you?
I am 22, coming on to 23.
So you're right in the middle, aren't you?
Yeah, I am the official average age, assuming that we have that estimate correct.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, actually.
Do you know, we used to look that young.
I know, once upon a... Stop it.
So, you've created a show which you've written.
Yes.
And Mitre, you've directed.
Yes.
So, tell us about the show.
So the show is, because we're coming up on our 10-year anniversary of us existing as a chorus, we felt it was about time that we took an honest look at ourselves, and so the show is sort of a celebration of ourselves as well as being an irreverent self-parody, as it were. And so we're not afraid to make fun of ourselves and sort of show off a few aspects of our culture that we really like and that we feel that doesn't necessarily come across to the average audience.
No, it wouldn't, because the show is set at a competition
It's set at a competition in Hobart, which is a callback to 2009.
Yeah, because that's where we first went as an organisation, as an a cappella.
Did you do, though, what the story of the show is? at that time?
At that point in time, well, I would have been 17
Okay.
Yeah, and I was,
in 2009. But
So-
since then, in the 10 years that we've existed, what happens in
So
the
we
show?
should just explain.
What
That
happens
is
on tour
actually-
stays on tour.
Yeah.
yeah, that is effectively the tagline. Yeah.
So the show actually starts, is it after like a heat of a competition?
The show starts in the build-up to the competition, so it
Right.
starts at the sound check, and then
Oh, that's
we
a funny
see,
bit. Yep.
And then we see it progress throughout the night as the anticipation builds and people begin to get a little bit reckless and maybe a bit self-indulgent and indulge in a few other things.
Let's be honest, you go to the pub and they all get drunk.
We don't want
Yeah,
to give it away
pretty
too
much.
much.
No, don't tell the story too much.
No, it goes a long way after.
Oh, okay.
And then it goes in weird and fantastical directions, some of which are reflective of what actually has happened to us on tours, and many of which are inventions that I think fit within the world.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
it sort of plays into the fact that we have discovered as a chorus that we are very good at minimal preparation when it comes to pulling off a quality product, which is not something that I think most people would admit to in the group, but we're putting it out there in the show anyway.
I don't think you should undersell yourself because you guys sound fantastic. But just explain, or first of all, there is an audition process if young men are interested in joining the group.
That is correct.
Yeah, so I could,
Can I just ask how many are in the group now?
on our books we have about 29 guys.
Wow.
But we
It varies considerably from project
yeah.
to project.
Oh,
so we
okay.
have different things that we do.
This one
Yeah.
is about 24, 25 guys, is it?
It's about 22, 23.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What,
so,
for this particular show?
Yeah.
There's 23.
Yeah, so it
Okay.
ranges between 18 to 23 guys at any given point.
So
in
it's
time.
totally a voluntary group.
Oh, yeah.
You come together because you love to sing.
Yeah, and if you can commit to the project, the idea is that you commit to the 100% and
Yeah.
you are there and you help us out and you help out in the lead up to our international trip and you connect.
Well,
So this group then, for
Yeah.
this show, when you raise your money, that same group will go to LA for the
the
competition?
majority of people.
The majority,
will.
yes.
We're
Okay.
assuming as many people will want to get on board the,
Yeah, I'm
the
sure they
international
will.
train as it is.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah. Now the reason you're going though is because
Because we won the Australian Barbershop Harmony competition here in Adelaide in 2018.
Well
So we've been
done.
invited to go and
Congratulations.
compete.
No, I wasn't actually there at the time.
Oh,
but I'll
really?
take that anyway.
Take
that's
it.
why they won.
That's rude.
But we competed and we're going. We're planned to go in 2020 because obviously taking a group of, nearly we're hoping to get as close to 30 people as we can.
Well, because the show hasn't started yet, we can't actually show a bit of the show,
No.
but we can have a look at what it looks like at rehearsal, and it'll give you an idea of the sort of guys and the way they're performing. So have a look at this. So this is where you're rehearsing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is all the guys, and these are the guys, and
So this is Clemzig Primary School, which has been very kind to us over the years.
I was going to say, yeah, well, it's a good space, obviously.
it's probably
So-
worth us mentioning that we are an a cappella group.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
we're rehearsing all of these dance moves, and 99% of the guys would never have done a dance class in their life. So it's quite funny
This is
and amazing to see the learning curve that they're going through. And so
That's
many
your
of them
brother,
have their-
Mitre, I see.
Yeah, that's
John.
that's John. There's
Who's the musical director?
Ah, okay.
And it's it's really awesome to see everybody sort of embrace it,
Yes,
even though it's out of their
yes.
comfort zone. And
great.
we were practicing
Yes,
moving the
that's
set
John.
and stuff yesterday. It was a lot. It's a lot of fun.
Well, clearly there's also a great masculinity about the piece. Like it's a lot of men singing, and we often lose that amongst sort of pop groups with funny hair and clothing. But the fact that there's an enormous maleness
Yeah.
in the room when they're rehearsing.
We're
Fantastic.
hoping it's a good form of maleness, though.
Yeah, like
No, it is. It's
Very
great.
much.
We're very much hoping not to push anything that
Yeah.
goes under the banner of toxic masculinity.
No.
Can I ask about your costumes then? You've got the corrie going. What about the
So
costumes?
the costumes are almost entirely based around our suits, which have been a staple of our, well, it's something that we've inherited from our barbershop roots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the staple of our look, part of our branding, as
exactly
minimal
it.
as it is.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
probably
so
all you need if you've got the voices, but you don't need too much more.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the show is called,
Choir
Choir
Boys.
Boys.
and it's on at the Adelaide Fringe.
Adelaide Fringe, over at
Do you think there's any chance that it might go to Perth or Melbourne in the future?
We probably won't go to this year's Perth Fringe because I imagine that's finished.
Yes, it just finished.
No, but
we'll
there's always
see
next
what-
year.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. We
It'll
don't
be
know.
a success overseas as well, I guess, won't it?
Well, we're not taking this to LA, but we will take the same quality Festival Statesman product that we've been developing over the years.
And all the songs that you're doing, everything is a cappella, even the beatboxing and the bass line that I thought when I heard them performing, oh, they've recorded that. But it was all live, just fantastic.
Who chooses the music?
It was sort of both of us.
For this project, it was a mixture of things that you had in your Spotify playlist.
Yeah,
and things that I thought would add to the story.
yeah.
Well,
very
it's a
good.
great show. Good luck with it, guys.
thank
I hope it's very successful, and I hope the trip to the States is just as
Successful?
Oh,
Is that what you're trying to say?
Sometimes hard to talk. So that's Mitre and Nick.
Nick.
Thank you so much for joining
Yes.
us, and great luck with the project.
Absolutely.
And we'll be back to talk about a whole lot of people called Marilyn taking the biggest plunge to raise money for cancer.
Welcome back. Now, this is a joy. We have Sarah Ventress
Hang on.
and Sarah Tinney.
I'm sorry. I think it's not just my voice that's going.
No?
I think my eyes have gone. I'm seeing two when I should only be seeing one.
Sarah Ventress and Sarah Tinney are both Marilyns.
Oh,
so
it's
no,
not
your
the
eyes are
eyesight.
fine, darling.
Oh, I
It's
thought everything was
okay.
gone. Well, I know that Marilyn Monroe, who they're
Yes.
looking like, said,
Yes, sir.
give a girl the right shoes and she can conquer the world. And they say, just give her the right bathing suit, a blonde wig and a touch of red lippy, and either he or she
He or
can
she.
conquer the world.
He or she.
So please explain.
Yes. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you. So we're going on to now planning our 7th year. We just finished our 6th swim, raising money for Cancer Council SA with research, prevention, and support services, and also advocacy. It started off as a small idea, and it's grown, and now we have several hundred Marilyns. And this year we've introduced
Male Marilyns.
Marilyns?
Manolins.
I'm sure
Manolins.
the reason we asked you to be on the show is because I saw the local news reports and I thought we really should find out a bit more about the people that put this together.
Yes. Who came up with this brilliant idea?
No. It sort of started off very unintentional, I think, as most good ideas do. I think it wasn't a contrived idea. It came out of, from my perspective, it came out of the grief of losing my mom. So my mother was diagnosed in 2006 with uterine cancer, and she started getting chemotherapy straight away. And I was in Australia. My mother lives in Michigan, and what do? I can't go and help her. So I started fundraising for Cancer Council, tried to help other people like my mother because I couldn't directly help her, and that led into many crazy events with my lovely bestie and next door neighbor, and
Oh, really?
indeed, right next door.
Oh, how wonderful.
And
But
so,
don't you run a business together?
well, yeah, of
promotion for
sorts,
that,
yes,
sort of?
yeah.
Okay.
So we sort of started doing ball gown events and royalties and
Anything really to raise money for cancer research.
anything that was fun.
Yeah.
Because it will do nothing that's not fun.
Well, the whole thing caught my attention because the vision I saw, first of all, it was a whole lot of blonde-haired people in white swimsuits running into the water. Then I noticed some of them had hairy chests. And I thought, need to get the Nair out there.
That was not me.
Wow.
Not you either.
No, just my husband. I just had husbands this year.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, there was a few tats showing.
So how
as
many
well.
men are involved in this as well?
Well, over the years, they've been like we call them the Marilyn crew, and
Yeah.
they've pumped and moved things for us and, you
Yeah.
know, been
Carry
at our
our
beck and
stilettos.
call. Yeah, and, you know, this year we had 7 in the water.
In their bathing suit?
In their bathing suits, you know, supporting us. It's kind of, we felt it was time for them to step out of the shadows, you know, and start to fundraise with us. You
That's
know?
lovely.
Yeah.
But you've connected this also with the Brighton sort of festival, haven't
Yeah,
you?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how that happened was, long story very short, with all the other fundraisers that
Sorry,
we
time's up.
did, I don't want to bore you with all the details, but the more interesting bits, I'll give you the highlights. This is the highlight reel. So we ended up running all these, you know, big ball gown events at Dunluce Castle, which is my home. It's a historic building. So it lended itself very well to, you know, having sort of extravagant events, and we had a lot of fun with that. But I think she and I, we get bored easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. And I think that we were open to maybe what else we could do, and we were invited down to the local surf club. They asked us to come down and compare the fashion show. So we went down and we compared the fashion show, and a few champagnes later, and you know, next thing you know, we're having a conversation with the lady that runs the Brighton Jetty Classic at the time. Her name was Robin Parsons, and she's fine with me telling her story, but she and I were chatting, and she said, you know, you should do something with your charity and the surf club. And I said, what could I possibly do?
Yeah.
I'm no athlete. You know, I only run if the cops are chasing me. So, you know, it was unrealistic, and I was like, no. You know, that's, you know, we'll come down here and help you, and you let us get some of your contact information to grow our royalty events, and that was the extent of it in my eyes. But the champagne won, and next thing you know, I'm handshaking because she says, oh, you should do something iconic and for your mother, and American, something American and iconic, and you know. And I'm like what? You know, she said, you should swim as Marilyn. And I said,
Wow.
okay. And I shook. And then that led to,
How can we do this?
well, I was like, I have cellulite. I'm not. That, you know, we're going to have to work out a witness protection program. So we then decided, right.
No.
Yeah.
She rang me the next morning, and she goes,
You were
oh.
there.
Set the record
No, I
straight.
was not.
You were
at
there.
The conversation, and she
Right.
rang me, and she said, oh, they've kind of committed us. And I went, us? I don't think you've committed us. I think you've committed yourself to
should be committed.
wear a white swimsuit and swim around the jetty. I think you'll find. Anyway, the rest is really history. We couldn't say no.
Well, and she can't say no because she
No.
is so much fun. And without her, I'm just some random, you know, blonde bombshell hanging out at the beach.
With natural hair.
What do you mean? Of course, darling. But, you know, the two of us together bring an energy that I think individually we don't have.
Yeah,
and that's what I think makes this so successful.
Did you both do the swim?
Every
course.
year.
Oh, if you want to call it a swim, it's more of a glamorous pedal.
Yes, I noticed that.
Well, yes, because you wouldn't want to get your
Flotation
hair
device.
wet.
Well, and I don't want to drown because that would be a damper on the entire event.
Rather, yes.
So, you know, I said to him, to the club, I said, I'm only doing this if I can use a flotation device. And they said, pretty sure we can get that over the line.
Now, but I heard on the news something about acquiring the right number of blonde wigs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, tricky.
Tell
Very
us the
tricky.
story about
the
that.
market for blonde wigs and, you know, white swimsuit it's just really tricky. Sarah spends hours and hours, you know, it's like the stock market.
Yeah.
It moves.
And there's different days that they're cheaper. So if you buy your wigs from, say, Asia on an auspicious day, you can get a special discount. So there is an art to it.
Right.
Yeah.
There's something I never
Never
knew.
knew.
Yeah.
Now, so what happens? Somebody says, yeah, I want to be part of this. And do they pay some money that goes towards the cancer research, and for that they get?
They pay a registration fee for the
Right.
swim, and that goes directly to Brighton Jetty Classic. And then they pay a small amount for us to run the swim.
Yep.
And then we also provide them with a wig and glasses.
Okay, so they don't have to source their own wig.
No.
So everyone sort of has the same wigs. Is that the
It
idea?
keeps it more uniform because
Yeah.
there's many wigs out there. You've got Einstein style Marilyn wigs, which are completely
Yes.
unacceptable,
Yes,
and
I
over
understand.
to the Kenalon, which is brushable and washable and slightly more natural.
So do people keep the wigs after they
Yes, and so then they can come back at a reduced fee the next year because they already have the
Yes.
outfit.
The cost,
So,
yeah.
but they also come to me for the swimsuits. 98% would come to me for the swimsuit. So we have a certain cushion of finance. This is quite small cushion of finance that we get from the registrations.
Right.
So that extra little bit of cushion helps us to buy stock and suits and have a wide variety and range so that I can suit every type of woman.
So every...
And man.
And man, sorry.
Indeed, and man.
And man.
Absolutely.
Do the
looking at-
men's have the modesty
They
skirt?
do, indeed.
I'm so careful.
But, you know,
Only I would think.
It's a family event. It's a family event.
the way that we raise the money is that everybody who swims or is ashore, Marilyn, so you can go on shore and raise money on the days that people fundraise.
Oh,
so,
right, so like it's a sponsorship program.
yeah,
as well.
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
They get a link. They have a specialized link. They get their, co-workers, their partners,
sponsor
their
them.
Yeah.
Right.
community
All sorts of events,
to pay to go. Wow, you're doing that. I'll give you $20.
Yeah,
and it's
that's-
tax deductible,
yeah.
so win-win.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
That is
I mean,
great.
it's a wonderful community enterprise.
Absolutely.
That's really what it is, isn't it?
And I have to say on that note, it is so much more than I think either
Yeah.
of us could ever have hoped for in terms of what you just said, the community coming together, because
Yeah.
it's really created whole new friendship groups within it.
Yes, of
It
course.
is a club, but not an exclusive club. It's very inclusive.
How many, when you first started this, so how many did you have in the group? Because it's
Well-
obviously grown over the years.
Well, we lied
Yeah, we
initially
lied a
to
lot.
everyone to make them feel more comfortable joining, and said we had several and we had none. So
We did. We were lying.
they all know we lied down. It's
Yeah, we
fine.
told
It's
them.
fine. It's all for charity. Look, 57 the first year.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
goal was 50.
Well, that's huge.
Yeah.
We were really excited.
We don't mess around.
You were.
Shop assistants. If you were checking out our
Everybody.
groceries, you were in trouble.
Did you have any men in the first year?
Yes.
Okay.
One. We only allowed one man pretty much every year because he was a really great sponsor. So he's the owner of the Brighton Jetty Bakery.
Right.
So Dave Metkovic was our sort of Manolin every
Did he give
year.
you some buns
We did
to
indeed.
make it work?
Yeah.
Well
dear.
done, Dave.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he fundraised at his shop, and he was a great support to us.
Always.
Oh, how
Yeah.
Girls, all we can say is you've really set the bar high for people who are looking to fundraise, because this is such a lovely idea. And you made the national news all over the country.
Fantastic.
And, you know, that brought awareness for what you were fundraising for initially.
Yeah.
But it's just for the Cancer Council across the board, isn't it?
Cancer
It's not-
Council SA.
SA.
Yeah.
When's
It's
it
not-
happening? Sorry, Malcolm,
all right.
interrupting. Save your voice.
It's the
When is it
first-
happening?
It's always
first Sunday
It's always the first Sunday in
of
February.
of every year.
Yeah.
Something to look out for next
So it's
year.
during the it's during the Channel 7 Brighton Jetty Classic. So we actually hijacked the charity division, and that's how we've turned it into our own. It's called the Marilyn Wave now, darling.
Fantastic.
Marilyn Wave.
Good luck, good luck. And we'll be back in a moment with a little bit more.
Welcome back, and we have Nick, and we have Mitre, and we have Marilyn and Marilyn. Now, girls, just explain to us again what the Marilyn thing is all about, please.
So we, as a group of several hundred Marilyns, raise money for Cancer Council SA for research, prevention, and support services.
And will you be doing it again next year? The swim.
Well, it's our 7 years, so, you know, Marilyn had that 7-year
Oh,
itch. So,
itchy powder in the
did.
swimsuits. I can,
so it's
you
a
might
time
need
to change.
you might need someone to sing for you next time.
Always looking out for great artists.
Yeah, well, a whole lot of lusty men. How many altogether again?
23?
29.
29.
It's the Festival
There is.
Statesman Choir.
Chorus.
Chorus.
Yeah.
And don't forget, you can catch them in the Fringe doing the show. And good luck when you go to the States, guys.
Thank
and
you.
good luck with the fundraising. So until next time, when hopefully my voice is better.
Hopefully.
Keep yourself nice till then. Bye.
Oh, look, there's some Marilyns. Some Marilyns over there. Hey, look, there's more Marilyns. There are Marilyns everywhere.